Good morning. It's the Call Flow Radio Show, and you're on the air.
Yes, it is the Call Flow Radio Show. We are on today. Today is the 22nd.
It's the Monday.
It's a Monday,
Yes.
as all Mondays are after the weekend. And if you'd like to be a part of the program, give us a call. Our number is 434-394-0924. Myself, John Staden, and over here,
it's
Noah Massarge.
Noah Massarge. You're right, John. How's it going?
The owner of Jeff the Cat.
I have a cat named Jeff,
Yes.
and he's a tuxedo cat, and he's a great cat. Yeah.
What of gold?
Very classy. He's very classy.
I only accept Friskies.
The way he eats is almost honestly like cleaner than how I eat. Like he's very he'll eat a little bit.
Cats are known for being clean.
And then just like kind of chew on it and then walk away and then come back later. No, Jeff's great. John, how's your weekend, man? How's it going? I haven't seen you since Friday.
Was that the last time we saw each other? No, I didn't think so. We saw each other Sunday, right?
Too. Yeah, we saw each other Sunday as well.
For a brief moment, and then you went out to get coffee with your sister.
Yes, that's right. Yep. You have my whole schedule down.
Well, you told me.
I did tell you.
Yeah.
I did tell you.
I'm going to go get coffee with my sisters. How you said it.
It's crazy that, I'll spend $8 on coffee and feel bad, but I still do it. That's so funny to me.
Drown your sorrows in coffee.
I really do. I know how it feels to be an alcoholic because I'm a coffeeaholic. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and an alcoholic. No, I'm kidding about the last part, but it doesn't feel good spending a lot of money but like needing the fix, like needing the coffee. It's a really. Do you have any vices like that, John, where you're like Like, or even anything at the grocery store that you buy on the regular that you're like, that hurts, but I'm going to still pick it up because
everything.
I'm addicted.
This day and age, everything is up than what it used to be.
Yeah.
And because of that, I guess our great leader is stepping out.
Well, that's a great. That's a good segue.
Play that song, "Stepping Out."
Yeah,
Joe Jackson.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get into that. But I do want to ask you, if you've been to the grocery store recently, or if you've been watching any ads on YouTube, or television, network television. If anybody still watches that, do you know those new snacks that they're rolling out called Takis? It's like it looks like a churro almost, but it's like a hard, crispy, and they're blue too. I mean, they use like military grade coloring and preservatives.
Don't.
Okay,
not aware of this one.
All right, I'll have to bring some in. I'm curious because I don't buy snacks, really. I really don't.
Snacks.
I don't buy snacks.
Snacks.
But my girlfriend does, so I'm kind of. That's
I like
where
how you
I'm
just
at.
throw her under the bus whenever you get a chance.
No, it's not. It really isn't that way.
I'm
but
just
it's.
messing with you.
I know, John. I'm not seriously upset at you. That would be funny.
I can never tell.
Well, that's unfortunate.
I saw a tear in your eye when you walked in this morning.
That's really unfortunate. You might be seeing things, John. But no. Well, it's cold out, John. It's cold. Did I just say it's hot? Okay. I'm getting off topic.
That's all right.
Anyways, she bought these Takis. They're flaming blue. They look like something out of a magical forest. Like she went into Lord of the Rings, like that universe, and picked some sort of like.
I just want to pause for a second and bring this up. What does Biden stepping down have anything to do with the Taki thing?
Well, we were talking about.
Is it talkie or talkie?
Takis, and we're Takis.
Takis,
same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we're talking about like addiction and like I'm addicted to coffee, and I was asking, but anyways, like she. Anyways, these things.
Does your girlfriend like these?
She does. We both like them now. We're both addicted. Let's get into Biden, John. Your favorite U.S. president since Bill Clinton. Is that true? That sounds true. Let's just say that's true.
I wasn't old enough to vote for Clinton the first time.
But the second time?
Let's just say, yeah. And so, yeah.
But wait, who did you vote for?
Whoever else was running.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
Biden's staff knew of his decision to drop out 1 minute before the public, which, is that really news? Wouldn't that make sense to say, Well, you're stepping down, right? All right, now let's present it, and that would be about a minute before you go out.
Well, it's like it's a part of the story, and like also it's usually they plan that kind of stuff out in advance. You know, it's crazy to me because like you think about it, they already had a presidential debate, so that person Biden who was in the debate it will no longer be. So that's like a throwaway debate.
Well, the problem was they already had their nomination, and he went nobody ran against him.
Yeah, so that's why like this election is pretty much sealed in my mind because like there's not enough.
I wouldn't
time.
go that far.
I know people like to say voter fraud.
No. I'm not even going there. I just know whoever they throw in the mix, they're going to get support from somebody.
Yeah, but there's no. I mean, we have like 3 or 4 months left before a
long 3 or 4 months.
It's not that it goes by fast, and the fact is, like, it's going to be Kamala Harris. That's who he endorsed,
right?
And most people don't like a Kamala Harris. The only reason why they would be voting for her,
but you're going to find out pretty quick how popular she will be in the next couple of days.
I really doubt that. No,
I'm just saying that's how they're going to present.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think this election is over. But it wasn't even like a fun one because like usually
fun one.
Like a fun election is like when you stay up and they're counting like the states and like the
people getting shot at might deter from the fun of it all.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're always going to have somebody crazy like that.
Not since Reagan, so it's been a while.
I think there's been attempted, but nobody's ever shot. Like that was but like people planned shooting, or like people are still mailing anthrax. That's a thing that happens. I heard somebody trying to.
Well, some people like that band.
Yeah. Well, that's a good band too, John. I'm not going to disregard that, but it's just like. I don't know, man. But I just feel like this is pretty like cut and dry. Unfortunately, I like when an election is like it's like very tight and like you don't really know who's gonna win, and you're like, ooh, this is like. And I'm the type of guy. I'm always like devil's advocate. So if somebody's starting to win, I'm like, oh, I hope the other guy pulls around. I don't really.
I'm the same way, but I always end up going with the other guy.
Yeah,
because he's usually the one always. It's always the other that's in the. No matter what the other person did, they've always got this jump start ahead of them. And I always found that interesting.
Yeah, well, I think
it's like what instant 10-point plus. Oh, that's funny.
And also, you have that picture that went everywhere on social media, on the internet. Let's be honest, the picture of Trump.
After he got shot?
Yeah, that picture pretty much sealed the deal, I feel like, for a lot of Americans and some non-Americans, too, and some Canadian folk probably were like, wow, that's a great photo.
And yet they voted for their guy.
Exactly. I'm not saying they're able to vote in the election, but I mean, I think it sealed the deal for people like in other countries, like looking at us and being like,
Bob with Thwaisan and Cher and other celebrities have reacted to Biden's exit.
And how is that? How are they reacting?
I would imagine that they're going to say, "Oh, he was really good," but we can look at it.
I doubt that. I mean, I don't know.
Hollywood was quick to react to the news that President Joe Biden was ending his bid for re-election and endorsing, like you said, Vice President Kamala Harris. Barbara Streisand, a Democratic supporter, who would have thought, wrote Sunday on X that we should be grateful for his upholding of our democracy. While many paid tribute to Biden's presidency, others wondered about the future. Cher wrote on X, notice these are all older Hollywood celebrity types, that she was tortured because she doesn't believe the Democrats could win without Biden. So there's a Biden supporter right there. And she said it was time to think way outside the box and proposed a split ticket. Mm-hmm. What do you think about it?
I mean, you could do that. You could do that. That's not... But I don't think... I mean, like, obviously, I think the reason why he stepped down is he's just not able to do it anymore. He's running out of steam.
But he seemed like he really wanted to keep in it.
Well, I think that's more of a neurological condition speaking up and less of a actually him being able to, because he knows he can do it. I think... I don't know. It was interesting. I watched him. He had an interview with ABC after the first debate, and it was him. And the guy was like, he was like, all the Democrats are saying you had a pretty rough debate. How do you feel? He was like, do you feel like it's a deeper, like, neurological problem, or do you feel like you're just, like, not feeling well? And he was like, I'm sick. That's literally what he said. And then he was like, I'm feeling sick. He was like, my doctor.
He has
blah, blah, blah.
COVID recently, right?
Yeah. And so that could have, I mean, that's a good excuse. But I think, I mean, honestly, anybody in their right mind, this person is just like, I don't know. It's not. And I don't want to say that because that kind of like only leaves one other person really as a candidate, which I don't know, man. I think we should just like take everybody off the ballot right now and just like pick two new people, like, you know, because like at this point, like, wow, what a mess everything has, you know, transpired is really just bananas. I never thought I would see something like this.
Welcome to the new world here. All right. Well,
Brave New World.
That's an interesting book. So I guess we've discussed that about as
well. John, what do you think about the whole thing?
I just think it was funny that he went unopposed and that nobody saw these signs and problems when he was back then, and now all of a sudden magically just appeared. And I don't think he should keep. Where was all this concern and
back
worry?
in like 2020?
Or at any point, really. But yeah, I mean, yeah, let's not pretend this is something new. I mean, he's been having this problem for years. No, I'm at the last nomination thing. They should have brought up people.
Yeah.
If they were really on, I just can't. These people are supposed to be very smart and well educated, and yet they just missed the sign somehow. Mm-hmm. I find that a little hard to swallow, but that's just me.
Yeah,
I'm a little dense that way.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah.
So. You know, all this, you know, you need to step down.
I think,
where's the calls for that when it probably should have been? You know?
I see how he was elected in 2020 because, like, if you watch those debates, at least he has, like, some energy. But these...
Oh, he was well-rested and well-hidden.
People say that, yeah. But, I mean, I think he
was.
He had a lot of time to prepare.
He barely came out.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's just me.
But these 4 years
Whoever they're going to pick will have more vigor, that's for sure. If they have another debate and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I was a Byrne fan. I was really hoping for the Burnster.
Byrne? Who's Byrne?
Sanders.
Oh, Bernie.
Bernie Sanders, yeah. I call him Byrne because, you know.
I thought the last name you were talking about was somebody actually named Byrne.
Oh, no.
Like John Byrne or somebody like that.
Feel the burn, you know.
Right.
Bernie Sanders,
right.
2020.
If you think it was bad back in the day, let's do some events on this day in history, and we can compare how bad things were back in the day.
Compare and contrast. That sounds fun, John.
And then you feel so bad anymore. So instead of going backwards, let's go backwards and then go forwards. How about that? Mm-hmm. Let's see. The Duke of Wellington defeated 40,000 Frenchmen in 40 minutes in Spain during the Peninsular War. This would have been 1812. And then you got 1923, Bob Dole, U.S. Senator, Republican congressional leader, and his party's candidate for the presidency in 96. So when you asked me earlier who I probably voted for, that was probably Bob Dole. But that was begrudgingly. Yeah. Like it's been for the, I don't know, last some elections I've been able to take part in. I've always kind of had to hold my nose a little bit. Mm-hmm. And nothing has really changed all but so much. Well, anyway, he was born in Russell, Kansas on this day in 1923. He'd have been just a year younger than my grandfather. 1923, American baseball player Walter Johnson became the first pitcher in the MLB to strike out 3,000 batters in his career record of 3,508 strikeouts stood until 1983. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Who else we got here? American aviator Wiley Post completed the first solo flight around the world. He covered 15,596 miles in 7 days, 18 hours, and 49 minutes back in 1933.
Wowie.
Doing it. Yeah. People doing stuff. All right. What else we got? Oh, Patton, 1943, led by U.S. General George S. Patton. Mm-hmm. Allied forces took is this
The man, the myth, the legend.
Palermo on the northwest corner of Sicily, giving them a strategic foothold from which to invade mainland Italy during World War II.
That guy knows how to rally up the troops right there.
We're going to go through there like crap through a goose.
Didn't he have a cigar like Winston Churchill, or am I just thinking of Winston Churchill?
I don't know. If anybody was going to have a cigar, I would think maybe Patton. It's been a while since I've watched Patton. I'm trying to remember if he had a cigar.
I feel like he's like one of those people. Like there's like public, or like very high figures like Castro always had a cigar. There's like some people you picture and they have a cigar in their mouth, like Freud,
Groucho
Marx, Castro. And Winston Churchill. I'm trying to think, is Patton on that list?
I don't know. Well, now, was it MacArthur had a pipe, or it was
That's
one of
right.
those guys had a pipe?
That's right.
Yeah.
Freud had a cigar, and Carl Jung had a pipe. Interesting. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Okay. Have you ever seen the movie Plan 9 from Outer Space?
Mm-hmm.
You have.
Yes, I have.
1959.
Ed Wood.
Yeah, the sci-fi film Plan 9 from Outer Space, starring. Do you remember who was in it?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Dracula.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Bela
Lugosi.
Lugosi. And directed by, you said, Ed Wood Jr. Yeah. Considered by some as the most inept, director in film history, was released in American theaters, described as the worst movie ever made, but became a cult classic.
That's totally true. That is totally true. That's a great movie. I also watched Ed Wood, the movie about the making of that
That's
movie.
The one with Johnny Depp, right?
Yes, it is. A very interesting guy, Ed Wood. And then also it's crazy because like Bela Lugosi was at the end of his career when Ed Wood came a knocking, and he was like, "Hey, I'm making all these terrible films. You want to join?" And Bela Lugosi, I didn't know this, but like I guess like Bela Lugosi had like a morphine addiction as well.
I was addicted, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that, but the film touched on it. And apparently that's like a true thing. Like I had no idea, but.
I also read somewhere or heard somewhere that he was buried in his Dracula outfit.
That's awesome.
Put in the coffin.
That is really...
I don't know.
What a way to go out. I mean, honestly, though.
I want to go out in style, yes. Anyway. All right. So we got a celebratory birthday, I guess you could say. Friedrich Wilhelm Bessel, German astronomer, born today, July 22nd, back in 1784.
That's a long time ago.
And died March 17th, 1846. He died at the age of 61. Prussia was where he was at.
That's not even a place anymore, John.
No, it's not.
Mother Prussia.
Friedrich Wilhelm Bessel. Yes.
It's a good name,
Going to talk like the Count for the rest of the day.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Bela Lugosi.
Well, that's what everyone bases the voice on. Well, at least they used to back in the day. But, I'm talking Sesame Street. You probably don't remember the Count. Do you remember the Count
I watched
character?
Sesame. Yes, John. You know,
one vat. And then the thunder and the lightning would...
They still make... Sesame Street's still a thing, and they also
but I don't know if they include the old characters anymore.
I think they do.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Well, I don't watch it anymore. That would be funny.
Sure he doesn't.
That would be funny, like, as an adult male watching Sesame Street, like, coming home. Like,
don't you?
That's like, there's something really, really funny
Noah's
about that.
watching right now.
Elmo is like kind of scary to me. I don't know. Elmo's got some problems. Elmo was like way too hype. Elmo's like almost the problem. I don't know. I always felt bad for what is it? Who's the guy? Not the guy in the trash can.
Oscar the Grouch.
Oscar the Grouch. Yeah.
My character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dave Chappelle has a really great joke about
Oscar the Grouch.
I can't tell it. It's too
that's okay.
Too rough and But anyways, yeah.
The heat is so bad that frozen treats, cold showers, and lots of ice. Florida Zoo works to protect animals from summer heat, and there's a wonderful picture here. It looks like an otter or some kind of animal like that that's got like this ice block on top of his tummy as he's swimming in the water. I don't know. So they're trying to beat the heat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, tigers and tortoises are native to hot and humid lands, but that doesn't mean they don't enjoy a frozen treat on a hot Florida summer day. And it does get humid in Florida. I do remember that, which I'll be traveling to here before too long.
John, you're going away.
Forever.
You're going to Florida. You're going to Disney.
Somewhere magical.
Is it Disney World? It's Disneyland.
Disneyland's
in
in California.
Okay. Disney World.
That would have been the first amusement park that Walt Disney built.
Yeah.
Was Disneyland out in California.
And then he made Disney World in Florida.
Yeah, they bought a lot of swampland and turned it all into Disney World, basically.
Yeah. Do you want to hear something funny, John?
About what?
Disney World.
Sure.
When I was a child, my parents played a sick joke on me. They told me that we would go to Disney World as a family vacation.
Yeah.
For years, they told me this lie. And, I mean, it got to the point where they had, like, a jar that they were putting cash in, like a little change in cash. And I was like, it's really happening. We have a Disney World jar. You know where I've never been, John?
Well, there's not.
Do you want
enough
to guess?
There's
Do
not
you want
enough
to
money
guess?
in the jar yet.
Oh,
go.
no, the jar's gone, John. That was spent a long time ago. It said Disney World on it, but I'm pretty sure it didn't, nobody spent anything related to Disney World in that jar.
Yeah.
There was no funds spent
That's a shame.
on plane tickets or anything. You want to hear something else that's kind of sad and messed up? My cousin lives in Florida. They went to Disney World so many times, John. You know how many
living
times
that
I've been to
close,
Disney
I would
World?
imagine so.
None. I've never been to Disney World. It's my
I've been a
greatest
couple
regret.
of times.
You've been there a couple of times?
Uh-huh.
Well, good for you, John.
well,
Live it up, Chuckles.
Oh, I
All
wasn't
right.
making fun. I was just.
Okay. I'm just a little salty, John. I mean, I'm not healed from this. That hurts. Anyways,
You want to meet Crush, the rare orange lobster?
what are you saying right now? It's not even words, John.
Diverted. Well, I'm reading this something here.
Okay.
Diverted from dinner plate to aquarium by Denver Broncos fans.
What is this? Is this a thing that you're reading? It's like
No, I'm
word
making
salad.
it up out of thin
Sounds
air.
like word salad.
It says. Well, I didn't write it. I just read it. Meet
sounds
Crush,
like-
the
yeah.
rare orange lobster diverted from dinner plate to aquarium by Denver Broncos fan, because the Orange Crush, if you know anything about the wonderful Bronco organization. Anyway, the downtown aquarium in Denver has a new resident, a rare orange lobster that was rescued from a shipment of crustaceans delivered to a Red Lobster restaurant over
Which
there
is
in
also going out of business by the end.
Pueblo, Colorado.
Yeah.
Are they going out completely or just
No,
shutting
they're
down
shutting
certain
down.
restaurants?
They're shutting down a lot
certain
of
number
restaurants.
of restaurants.
I think
yeah.
like probably around like 40
Yeah,
to
that's-
50%.
that was
like
the last I heard.
a lot of restaurants.
Yeah.
Like so many restaurants.
Yeah, well, Friendly's fell into that category. I used to really like Friendly's and for the ice cream
Yeah.
and stuff, and they used to have two at least in Richmond that I was aware of, and I think both of those are gone now.
Yeah,
so.
I think a lot of stores are falling by that.
We can get into that later since we're now at the bottom of the hour.
Now, how do I shut this computer off? What kind of cords do I have to? Oh, sorry.
This stuff goes off by itself. It
Okay.
doesn't need any help.
Okay.
Many a time I've walked in here and just blank screens.
Okay.
So it doesn't need any help.
Okay.
If
Yeah.
anything, anything you want to learn how to cut on the
Okay.
machines, and you're good. You're good at that.
Thank you.
All right, bottom of the hour. Here we go. This edition of the weather is brought to you by the Bank of Charlotte County.
Hello, I'm Stuart Wilborn, manager of the Bank of Charlotte County Loan Office in downtown Farmville. I invite you to call or come by and see me about your loan needs. Whether it's time to purchase investment property, build your dream house, expand your business, or purchase timberland or farmland, you will find old school personal assistance with attention to detail. Stop by our office at 216 North Main Street or call us at 391-1136. The Bank of Charlotte County, giving you more for your banking needs. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
All right, 60% chance of showers and a possible thunderstorm today with a high near 83. Tonight it's a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low around 69. And then a 60% chance of showers, thunderstorms Tuesday, high near 88. Tuesday night, let's see, 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms, a low around 71. Wednesday, 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a high near 86. And Wednesday night, a 60% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low around 71. Humidity is 100%. Winds calm barometer 30.04. Light rain right now 70. And the Bank of Charlotte County with branch locations in Phoenix, Charlotte Courthouse, Brookneal, and their loan office in downtown Farmville.
The law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, is located at 117 North Main Street in downtown Farmville. With deep roots in Farmville and our surrounding communities, Terry and her legal staff specialize in real estate law, wills and trusts, business formations, and collections. Experience and professionalism are extended to every customer in every case. The needs and concerns of every customer are their primary focus. If you have legal needs, contact the law office of Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, for a consultation at 434-392-1422.
I was a little quick on the trigger there. The birthday calendar is being brought to you by Terry Atkins Wilson, PC. And now we can... There we go. Jazzy piano. And with those birthdays and possible anniversaries, I present to you Noah Massage.
I gotta... Give me just 1 second, John. I gotta...
Kindling. He's using some kindling here in the fireplace.
We found the the birthdays. Okay, it's right
Go
here. Okay, today's the
It's
fourth, right?
It's Monday, and it's also the 22nd.
Is
by
that the
way.
15th? Monday?
Not
You said the 22nd.
Yeah.
Okay. Today's the 22nd,
It is to some of us.
and that's in August, right? We're in August.
Do you want me to read them? I mean,
No, I'm asking. Oh, here we go. Okay, I have the page right.
Oh.
I'm sorry, guys.
I thought you were.
Today is July 22nd.
I don't think it's fun of you
2024.
mocking Joe Biden, but you go right ahead.
Today we have Leanne Belton, Merle, and Edith. Edith,
yeah.
Merle and Edith. That's a name that hasn't been said in over 100
Yeah,
years.
they don't name people Edith anymore.
I think it's a cool name.
Well, I'm against the whole thing of
You're against what?
Gladness.
Excuse me, what?
Gladys and old names that aren't being used.
You're
anymore.
against old names?
No, I'm against that they don't use them anymore.
Oh, so you're for old names?
Yeah.
Against new names.
right,
Okay.
Fred.
Yeah. Nobody's named Fred.
Not anymore.
Ethel?
No. Mabel.
So Merle and Edith Smith, happy anniversary. That's excellent news. And happy birthday to Leanne Belton. I'm going to check my other list of birthdays. We have... Well, that's it, John. We have one birthday, one anniversary. You know what that is, John? That's an even keel. That's even across the board. And if you have a birthday or if you have an anniversary, call in at 434-394-0924. Me and John will sing you a happy birthday on the air. Also, you can send those birthdays and anniversaries to birthdays@wflo.net. John, back to you.
For the right legal advice, visit Terry Atkins Wilson, PC, Main Street, Farmville. Well, we've done our due diligence.
I like how you
said
said Farmville.
Farmville.
No, you were like Farmville.
It's because I'm breathing.
Oh,
I breathe when I
sorry.
speak.
Yeah, that's right. You know,
It's August 22nd, by the way.
I don't breathe
Oh, you don't?
when I speak.
Oh.
When I speak, well, I should.
In the nose, out the mouth.
In the nose.
Miyagi taught me how to do it.
Is that a karate?
Karate Kid, yes.
I said
In the nose, out the mouth.
karate crid.
I learned wax on, wax off, all that good stuff.
Yeah. You don't. Okay. No, I'm sorry.
You did the local.
No.
Yeah, you did. You
I'm
did
sorry.
the local birthdays.
I did do
you
that.
did. You did. And so now
I was gonna say something.
Let's do some local celebrity birthdays. No, actually, we're going to do regular celebrity birthdays. Do you know singer George Clinton?
Now, is that the guy who sings? What is that song? Oh, All You Need Is Love.
Right. Turns 82 today. Fun fact. Once had a cameo on How I Met Your Mother.
Okay.
Another show I never gave a second. Did you used to watch it?
How I Met Your Mother. That's
Doogie Howser. I think.
the two main characters. That's
Doogie
like,
Howser, the later years.
and that's like Mike and Molly, right? The two main characters are named Mike and Molly, right?
That's Mike and Molly, yeah.
Sorry.
You're good. Actor Danny Glover.
Yes.
perhaps maybe know who that gentleman is.
I do. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
He turned 77.
And he was in Senate for a while too, right? Wasn't he a U.S. senator?
Not to my knowledge. I don't think so. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I can hold on as long as you can.
Okay. Well,
Here's your fun fact.
you broke it
He
first,
ap-
John. Okay.
Well, nobody wants to hear dead air. Appeared in
Exactly.
multiple episodes of ER as Dr. Pratt's father. I was not aware of that. I did not know that. I know he was in Lethal Weapon. Yep.
That's right. That's right.
Played older than he actually was, which was a problem because he was looking to retire in the first Lethal Weapon. So as the years kept going on, his character just kept not retiring.
And aging.
I don't know if he was playing as old as 10 years older than he actually was, but he was playing someone older than he was, which I thought, I guess it was to offset the fact that Mel Gibson's character was a bit younger.
Yeah, he was on the younger side for sure.
Yeah, well, for a while. Then he caught up to him by Lethal Weapon 4. But anyway. And let's see. Albert Brooks. Do you know who Albert Brooks is?
I actually, who is Albert Brooks?
Actor-director Albert Brooks turns 76.
What movies has he directed?
I'm trying to tell you.
What type of film?
All right, here you go. Fun fact. First feature film he directed was a movie called Real Life in 1979.
Interesting.
There you go.
Interesting.
I know him more about being a guest on, like, Carson and stuff like. I've seen him on stuff like that, and I maybe have seen a movie or two of him. You'll know who this gentleman is. Actor William Dafoe turns 68.
Willem Dafoe. Where do I start? All right. Well,
You going to start?
No.
Fun fact: recently appeared in the Wes Anderson film Asteroid City.
Also, The Lighthouse, which was not Wes Anderson. Sorry. But anyways, yeah, he's a great. It's like one of my all-time favorites. I think he's just like every performance. First movie I saw him in was Spider-Man 1.
The Green Goblin.
The Green Goblin. He plays such a great goblin. Love it.
He really didn't need a mask, though, does he?
Yeah, he's scary enough already. He looks deranged.
Some people thought he should have played the Joker at some point in his career.
I don't know.
I have the face for it.
What about the Penguin? Yeah.
That's Burgess Meredith or Danny DeVito, depending on which one you were exposed to first.
Yep.
Actor John Leguizamo turns 59, mostly known as just being an actor.
What film?
It looks like you have no recognition of what I'm saying.
Well,
I can tell you, he was in a couple of. He was in a Steven Seagal film, unfortunately for him, and he had a story about how Seagal roughed him up a little bit. He was basically giving him direction. Seagal was giving him direction, like Leguizamo, and said something along, because they were supposed to be military type characters and all this other stuff, and so he basically made this comment about, you must listen to me, take my words as direct orders, blah, blah, blah. And I think he must have made a sigh or made some sort of remark or a facial expression. And supposedly he did something.
Gruffed him up. Little slap around.
I don't know about if he hit him or anything, but he kind of
couple of noogies.
And that might be the one that he died in, meaning Seagal early. Seagal did a film where his character dies very early in the film. He wasn't the main guy. It was the Kurt Russell vehicle. It was where Kurt Russell was on a plane, and I want to say he was the president. And so I remember
Do you remember what it was called?
I'm trying to remember. It might have been Fatal. I don't know. Fatal
Impact? No.
Fatal. I don't know. It was Fatal something. But yeah, if you do like a Google search on Kurt Russell, you might see it.
Okay.
Or something like that. But I can't think of it right now. Here's a guy I know, David Spade.
David Spade. That's he one of the originals. One of the best in originals. David
Original
Spade. What? Well, not SNL, obviously, but I don't know.
He was an SNL alumni.
Definitely, definitely one of the better known classic eras of SNL.
Well, anyway, he turns 59.
Amazing.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
His middle name is Wayne.
I did not know that.
I know you didn't.
Yeah.
David Wayne Spade.
That's
All right.
crazy.
It is crazy. Selena Gomez turns 31.
The years are creeping up on her. No, I'm kidding.
Looking all right to me. Let's see. Fun fact. She first appeared on, here we go, SNL as a musical guest in 2016 before returning to host in 2022. That wasn't all that long ago. Terrence Stamp, the original General Zod, turns 85 today. Still my favorite General Zod because the other guy looked like he was spitting Tic Tacs when he talked. Anyway, who else do we have here? Don Henley, 76. Do you hear something?
No.
Okay. 76 today, Don Henley.
Yeah.
Who else do we have here? Let's see. Anybody worth mentioning? You know what? I think that's it. I think that's going to wrap it up for the good
That's
old
John's top
birthday.
celebrity picks, everybody.
Right, people I actually recognize.
Yeah, John's celebrity picks. Yeah.
Got it?
Yeah, that's right.
Bassist Pat Badger of Extreme is 56. We could go down that deep well there.
Extreme is like a band that had one or two hit songs. I won't call them good, but they were hits, and that's it.
But
Am I wrong?
No, yeah. Well, you're wrong in the sense that not that on the hit thing.
Okay. That one song that's like very acoustic and is
Yes.
very like
well, both of them are technically.
Yeah,
One's
they
just
are.
more upbeat than the other.
yeah.
And they both came off the same album. But if you listen to that album, the rest of the album sounds nothing like those songs. They are very, I'll put it in generic terms, Queen meets Van Halen. In other words, a lot of flashy guitar, but yet a lot of harmony, singing, and all this other sort of stuff in it. It's very the guy Nuno Bettencourt, who's the guitarist, I've seen him live a couple of times. If anybody's the heir apparent, he's close to it. I'm not saying anyone is to Eddie, but let's just say he's pretty good. And Noah's, I'm not going to use that pin anymore because he's rubbed it against his nose now. But other than that, all right.
John, do you have no filter?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do. But not when it comes to making fun of you.
Uh-huh. I see the smile, the little
So leave it on
joy
Selena
in your
Gomez
eyes.
while you go ahead
Yeah.
and save us and
All right.
talk about whatever you
Sure.
want to talk about.
I don't know. John, what do you want to talk about, John?
The next 15 minutes
I
is
don't-
all yours.
That's very generous of you, John, but I'm not.
I'm a giver.
I'm not that selfish.
Oh, come on.
But we should say the number one more time. If
Go
you'd like
right
to call in, talk about this Joe Biden stuff. This is pretty crazy, guys. We have somebody. This is almost as crazy as when Nixon resigned, but a little
I
less
thought you were going to
crazy.
mention the last person that pulled this off,
Who's that?
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Oh, yeah. I guess you're right. Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I heard that on the news at some point.
London
He was the last person
Johnson.
to do this.
Yeah. Thanks.
Bow out.
Yeah. It takes a cojones, It takes a little.
To bow out?
Yeah, well, it does because it's like, hey, I'm not doing things how it should be done. Or just being like, it's not a well
But
lubricated.
not for the good of the
machine.
country or for the
Yeah.
good of my party.
Yeah, I gotta finish. I just gotta get out of here.
Okay.
It's like Joe Biden is doing what everybody does when they're trying to leave a party. They're like, all right, guys, well, I'm going to stand by the door for like 10 minutes and then slowly open it and exit the building, He's doing that, and he's in the White House. The building he's trying to leave is the White House. So,
It just
John,
happens to be a White House.
it's just a White House. What I mean, if it was a greenhouse, they would call it the greenhouse, John. But that phone number to call in,
Yeah,
of course,
you know,
434-394-0924. Talk with John Staten about politics and Van Halen and how they're intertwined together. There's one.
I'm waiting on you to bring up the big
Harmonious-
topics.
John.
This is all you do.
Well, it's been raining recently.
Right now, as a matter of fact.
It's raining right now. Farmville is very wet right now. There's a lot of rain, a lot of water going down the gutters and the sewers. It's pretty.
Gutters and sewers.
Yeah. And John is on his phone right now, so
I'm testing something. I just want to make sure we're on.
Oh, we're definitely.
We're on the up and up here.
Oh, I see. That thing is actually, you have to drop that.
Well, that's what I was looking at.
Oh, yeah. Should work now, though, I think.
It should be working anyway.
But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of water happening right now in Farmville. There's a lot of... Our sewers are getting very moist and very wet. John, I wonder if they can handle all this water.
I don't know. Since we were so dry before, it's always...
Dry as a bone.
Tends to work out where we go being, very drought-like, and then we get a lot of rain
That's
on
right.
top
Yeah,
of it sooner or later.
That
And then
is Farmville in a nutshell.
or just this area in general, and we just, I don't know, it's, for whatever reason, there wasn't enough drought to soak up all the rain, and it just sort of expands and runs down the road. And,
Yeah.
and we wave at it as it goes by. And, yeah. So what do you want to talk
really
about Biden?
imaginative.
It was never President Joe Biden's intention to leave the race.
Well,
And this is where I'm
yeah.
getting at. Well, I'm not
Okay.
making this up. It's right there on the AP.
Lay it on me.
Up until he decided to step aside yesterday, Sunday, he was all in. That's, I guess, the part I'm getting at.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had a little talk.
Yeah.
Somebody was encouraged.
Somebody was doing something, John.
Somebody said, you need to
You okay there, John?
quit. Anyhow.
Well, I don't think that's... I literally think that, like, whatever is left of Joe Biden's cognizant mind was like, whoa. He just, like... I think what happened was he got, like, a whiff of reality, and he was like... He took, like, a deep breath, and he was like...
Well, if he's fighting COVID,
And he was
maybe he just really is like, I don't want to fool with this anymore.
Yeah, well,
I'll pitch him a softball that way.
The debate was hard to watch, though. The debate was really really sad. It was like watching your pappy or whatever you guys. I call my grandfather Pop, but I'm not going to say that on the air. But I think pappy, John. That's something you would have said.
Are you saying Papa or Pop?
Pop?
Like
P-O-P? P-O-P.
Like in baseball, a pop-up? Is that what you just said?
Pop.
Oh, pop.
Yeah. It's classy.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Okay. But let me guess. Did you call your grandfather Pappy?
No.
P-A-P-P?
If he was Pappy Boyington from Black Sheep Squadron, I would have called him that.
Okay.
But since he's not, I didn't. No.
Okay.
Grandpa.
Grandfather.
No, just grandpa.
Grandmother.
Granny.
I called my grandparents on my mother's side grandmother and grandfather. There was no lingo. There was no anything like that.
Anything further?
It was very formal. It was very formal.
Ah.
Anyways, that's not true. John, I had my car break down. We haven't even touched this, but I had my car break down on Main Street
And
just the
you
other
got
week.
really lucky. You needed a new alternator, and somehow were able to get one.
I was
like
able
that.
to get one really quickly.
Whereas most of us, it's going to be a couple of weeks.
Well, that is the positives and benefits of a little know-how, a little intuitiveness in you. You can do great things. You can do terrible things. You can replace your alternator, and that's what I did. I called up, and I'm gonna say it. Should I say it? I'm gonna say it. Fisher Auto Parts. I called them up, and I was like, "Hello," and there was a guy on the phone named Craig, and I was like, "Craig, I'm in a really bad spot right now. My car just broke down, and I need a new alternator." Sorry, John's doing a weird tongue thing. He looks like a reptilian. John, you're sticking your tongue out and retracting it like a
It's called
lizard.
licking my lips.
You're like this, though.
Welcome to things that people do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, Craig was
I thought you were so involved in your story you wouldn't.
Well, let me
throw
get
you
back.
off.
Let me get back to the story, John.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Craig was
I wasn't doing anything. You're the one who called out my.
Well, it was so
licking
bizarre.
the
It
lips.
was so bizarre. If I didn't say it, I would have regretted it. But anyways, I'm talking to Craig. I'm talking to Craig, and Craig is telling me he was like, well, what's the year, make,
Craig
and
have a
model?
list?
Craig has a computer that I'm imagining he searches up parts on, and I'm like, well, Craig, I gave him the color. I was like, it's a bronze Subaru Outback 2008, yada yada, and he was like, okay, is that the 6-cylinder? I was like, yes, it is. good guess. Anyways, he pulls up the part and he's like, okay, it's a little bit expensive, but I can get it today at 2:30. It will be here. It'll be on the next shipment to our store. And I was like, Craig, you are a miracle man. You made this happen. I appreciate it. So I shelved out some cash. All right, it wasn't like it wasn't quite chump change. It was a little expensive. It was on the expensiver side. It was under $400, but it's an alternator, so it should be. It was closer to like $290, which is still kind of expensive. Nobody wants to be spending that much money on a thing that charges your battery. You know what I mean? Anyways. So I get the part. I go to my car, and I start tearing it down, John. I pull out the toolkit, and I get myself a wrench. You know what a wrench looks like, John? Mm-hmm. And then a screwdriver.
With it.
Yes. And I start taking it apart. I start in a gas station parking lot. I am like full blown taking my car apart. I'm like taking the tank off. I'm dropping the gas tank. I'm taking off tires. I'm taking off stuff that doesn't even need to come off, just because when I work on my car, I need to get involved. I need to feel like every part of my car. I need to get my hands dirty. I basically want to look like I've lived in a cave, and that's kind of how I look when I work on a car. Mm-hmm. And so I start working on it, and I realize I need an Allen wrench. And guess what? I don't have
no
on
Allen.
Me. I have no Allen, John. No Allen
you
at all.
Allen to have an Allen wrench.
Yeah, and I couldn't call Allen and Allen because they're a law firm. They don't.
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence.
I don't either.
Okay. Nice. Are you chewing gum, John?
Yeah. I'm Burt Reynolds now.
John likes to chew imaginary gum. It's kind of funny. Well, John, thank you. No. Yeah, that's great, John.
You're welcome.
That's great. Anyway, so I'm like, well, shoot, I already took half my car apart and I need an Allen wrench. And I was, let's just say I was on a crunch right now for time, because like I only had, I don't know, a good 30 minutes or so to work on that. So I made a couple of quick calls. I have people with tools within like a 5-mile proximity from any location I'm ever at. If I'm in Maryland, I know a guy who knows a guy who has tools. I call him up. I'm like, hey, I'm broke down on 95. Can you come with your tools? And so, anyways, it's a good thing to have that, sort of a friend with all the tools.
Right.
And what that means is you don't have to buy your own tools. You just have friends with tools, and
Are you friends with Tim, the tool man Taylor?
No. Huh. But the cool part about having a friend with tools is like if a couple of his tools go missing, he doesn't really know about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding about that part.
He knows now.
No, that's a joke, John. But anyways, I honestly do think I've gathered tools from other people that I don't know who they belong to. I just ended up getting more tools, and I didn't take them. I don't know where they came. I don't know if the tool fairy dropped them off at my door. Who knows? It really is a mystery. But anyway, so I call a guy. He comes out. We get it done. John, I'm out there. It's cold, and it's about the storm, John. Like the clouds. This was the day, I want to say it was Thursday, and it really, really came down. Like there was a lot of power outages in Farmville. Right. So I'm out there, and I'm like, oh boy, I better head in before it starts to pour. And we're wrapping it up, and the wrench is clinking, and screws are drilling and, getting screwed in to holes. Get it working. And the car starts. And anyways, so the next day I start the car and it sounds like it doesn't want to start, but it starts. It does start. And I'm like, well, maybe I'll just have to leave it on longer because like sometimes when your battery's low after it's been drained, you got to charge it up by driving it. That's what they always say. Mm-hmm. Take it to the mechanic. You're like, hey, my battery's low. They tell you to drive it. Weirdly enough, and that charges the battery if your alternator is working. So, anyways, I go ahead and I drive this thing for like 40 minutes, right? And I'm like, man, this is going to be a full battery, right? You think it would be a full battery. Mm-hmm. So, anyways, I go ahead and park after driving for 40 minutes. When I'm thinking it's a full battery, I go ahead and shut the car off, do what I was going to do, go to the gas station, buy like a water or something, who knows? And I get back to my car, and guess what doesn't start, John? My car does not start.
Yeah, that would have been my guess.
So I get somebody to jump me, and also I must add that getting jumped in 2024 is a lot different than getting jumped in like 1984. Like I feel like it was more acceptable back then, and nowadays like nobody wants to jump you. Like people just they look at you and they're like, like that's a bad situation. Why does this guy's car not start? That's not good. They don't want to help.
Oh. So how'd you get out of here?
John, I had a guy jump me, but he was a very nice guy. But it took some convincing. I could tell like right off the bat he was a little uncertain and a little hesitant about the whole like.
You didn't like my car, so
well, your car John. Your car. The interesting thing about your car, John, is your battery is actually like built into the steering wheel. What I mean by that
for
is
safekeeping. Yeah,
it's so far back. Yeah. Like you would need to take a lot more parts off your car to get to the battery.
I think that's why they did it, so people that would ask, "Can I get a jump?" I can go.
Yeah, the battery's all the way in the back. Yeah. The battery is a part of the steering wheel now. Yeah. It's a part of the drive.
But I did offer,
whatever that means. Yeah, you did offer. It was nice for you to offer.
Yeah, I did offer,
but it did not.
You were gone when I got back, so I figured
I got
I
jumped.
figured somebody helped
Anyways, you. this and then this was the next day. I think this was Friday. I want to say. But I go to Advance Auto. I'm like, hey guys, can you check my battery? And the interesting thing about this, John, is their computers were down because of this whole Microsoft Windows 10, Windows 11.
They use the same system.
They
that
use
was
the same
problems.
and like all their screens, I looked, they had the frowny face, had the Windows frowny face,
and
it was
not
like,
good.
It was not good. But they were like, "Hey, we can test your battery. We just can't sell you anything." And I was like, "Okay, that's all I need." They test my battery. Not only did I need to replace my alternator, I also had to replace my battery because my battery had dying cells, much like myself, my own being. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Cells and self. My cell selves. Yeah.
Cool.
So that was an interesting day. You learn a lot about people when you try to get a car jumped. And the guy I met was actually a window washer. I didn't think that was a thing anymore. Like I thought that was like
windows still exist.
1920s.
They still need being washed. I guess,
yeah, for sure. No, I'm not denying that. I mean, windows are real. I'm not saying windows aren't real, John.
We haven't. Notice how the technology hasn't changed. We still use Windows.
We still use Windows. Yeah. And we still use Windows computers, by the way, which are starting to cause you problems.
But we still use the old school Windows.
We use
the Windows that preceded Windows.
We use glass windows. We have like synthetic made materials like fiberglass, and lacquer is a clear liquid that hardens and it kind of looks like a window. But yeah, windows are windows. Windows are always.
Did you see any movies this weekend? Just asking.
Did I see any movies? I did see a couple movies.
I mean, did you go
to the movies? Not this weekend. I did watch Longlegs, though.
Twisters whips up $80.5 million at box office while Deadpool and Wolverine looms.
Yeah, well, nobody cares about Marvel. Marvel is dead. No, that's a joke.
I might go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
You should go see. I saw the trailer and I was like, I'm unimpressed. But that's just how I feel about every Marvel movie. I'm not impressed.
Well, I haven't been, but I like the first Deadpool okay.
That's what I hear.
The second one wasn't to my liking, but the first one I liked. So and Hugh Jackman's coming back to play Wolverine, which he vowed he wasn't going to do when he made that Logan film. And
Wolverine is definitely like by far.
He's been playing that character for about 20 years.
But it's like, honestly, think about like the Marvel characters. Wolverine is one of the greatest, if not the greatest.
Very much so. It's like they're Batman almost. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up. Noah, thanks for coming in, and we'll be back at you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye-bye.
WFLO AM in Farmville.